Hey guys, math1700. I promised you a video. And what the purpose of this video is to look at some of the stuff that we've been doing in class with the graphing calculator, and to show you how we can do this with the Excel. So I kind of got a split screen going on here. This is the quiz that you guys took on April 3rd, and I think we're pretty good, except for just what I would call just little silly mistakes that are easily correctable. Getting pretty good at doing this with the graphing calculator. What I want to do in this video is just show you how we could set up something like this and work it in Excel. And I think you're going to find out that working this kind of problem with Excel is is much easier. So, guys, first thing, very first question: what is the monthly payment? Let me tell you what I've done over here in Excel. What I did is I tried to set up the spreadsheet. I went down to a term of 72, so I have 72 periods or term. I just called them periods here for some reason. And I have beginning balance, interest for period, beginning balance plus the interest, and then your ending balance. So your ending balance is just the beginning balance plus the interest, and then you take your payment off at the end of the period, which we've talked about before. So gang, the very first thing I'd need to do is come over here and just choose some cell, and I'd need to calculate my payment. And it's probably easier to calculate the payment using the graphing calculator, but just in case you get like stranded on a deserted island somewhere and you don't have your graphing calculator with you and you've got Excel, that's going to happen, right? I'll show you how to do this, okay? So guys, what you have to do, first of all, notice you have to type equal to. So any formula that's driven by Excel, it has to be started with equal to. Now, Excel, once you do that, it shows you the form that you need to use, but I don't think it's necessarily that clear. But the very first thing that Excel wants you to put in is the rate. And this is a little different than what is required through your graphing calculator. What Excel requires is the rate per period. So the interest rate for the year is 6.2, but there's 12, they're making monthly payments, so you'd have to divide that by 12. So guys, if they decided they wanted to make quarterly payments, clearly there would be one there. I'm sorry, there'd be four there. If they wanted to make annual payments, it'd be kind of redundant to put a one. And if they want to make payments every 6 months, they put a 6. But that's not what's going on here. The Malones want to make monthly payments for 72 months. Now, the next thing we get into N per, and that's exactly like our graphing calculator. That's just the total number of payments, for the life of the loan. The next thing is present value. That's how much money in this situation that you're actually going to borrow. So that's 32,000 without commas. FV is the future value. That is, we want to be a good customer and pay off our loan, so that'd be 0. Now the next thing is type, and that gets into what we talked about, what we've talked about numerous times. This whole ordinary interest schedule, making payments at the end of the period. Well, to let Excel know that that's what you want to do, you either leave that blank or put a 0. And I like to be thorough, so we put a 0 there. Guys, if you got everything, hit enter. And you'll see that the payment is $533.36, just as we, or at least those of you that came to class, found. I don't think anyone missed that, so that's good. Okay. Now, how much interest will they pay over the life of the loan? What we need to do now is we need to set up our spreadsheet. And guys, you got to pay attention to detail here, because it's going to be just that. What we want to do is we don't want to make calculations for every single cell for all 72 months. What we want to do is make a few calculations, but make those calculations in general, and then set up a situation where we can do what's called a fill down and create a spreadsheet based on a couple of calculations. Well, anyway, I want to start everything with an equal to. So I'm going to start it out by typing 32,000, because it's clearly the beginning balance. Now, one thing I did to set up the dollar sign is I came in, and you can go up here and do the number, and you can go to accounting. And if you go to accounting, it'll give you the option of doing a dollar sign. So, I've already done that. So now the interest for the period, again, we got to start with an equal sign. Now, if we're doing this on our calculator, we're going to type 32,000 times 0.062 divided by 12. Some of you didn't divide by 12 and you missed this problem, or I should say you missed the spreadsheet problem, the amortization table, number 2, because you didn't divide the interest for the period. You just took the annual interest. But guys, we're calculating the interest for one particular month. So, but instead of typing 32,000, what I want to do is I want to go select that cell. So I want it to be more of a using a location of the number and not necessarily the number. So I click that, and it says, well, that particular number is at B2, and I want to multiply that by 0.062 divided by 12. Beginning balance plus interest, again, start with equal. And I don't necessarily want to add, I mean, I do want to add 32,000 and 165.33, but I want to add the locations, not as much as I want to add the numbers. So I click that location plus that location and hit equal to. Now the next thing I do is I come in and do my ending balance, so I go equal again. I want the number in that location minus the 533.36. Okay? Now the next thing I want to do is I want to move that number down to this location. So I want equal to that location to become the number in that location. Now guys, once I get those 5 numbers established, I'm ready to do what we call an Excel fill down. So the first thing, I've got to do this in bits and pieces. So I'm going to highlight these top 3 numbers. I'm going to come to the bottom right drag line, and I'm going to bring those 3 numbers and drag those down to line 2. Well, period 2. The next thing, instead of just highlighting 3 numbers, I'm going to highlight all 4. Now, some of you are probably sitting there screaming at me saying, Dr. Darborough, there's an easier way. You can do that quicker. Guys, I ain't worried about quicker. I'm worried about just being efficient, getting it done correctly, and getting my spreadsheet. I'm not not in a super big hurry here. Okay, so guys, very quickly, we get the amortization table for the Malones who are purchasing this 32,000. Now, guys, once we get this, it makes some of our calculations really, really simple. For example, Part B, how much interest will they pay over the loan? Well, guys, look at this right here. That column right there is interest for the period. So if we can just sum all that up, I can get my interest for the total loan. So guys, I'm going to go equal sum. And again, I know there's an auto sum, but I'm not worried about that. Not worried about necessarily getting it done as quickly as possible. I'm just worried about getting it done efficiently and correctly. So I don't want to add the title column. So guys, hit the right parentheses, hit enter, and it'll show you that your total interest for the life was 6401. 6401.81. Now, how much interest do they pay in the first 2 years? Well, that's really easy to do too. I can just go equal sum. And guys, I can go up here, and now all I got to do is drag the first 24 periods. Now, in using the graphing calculator, that's a little harder. Wait a minute, I didn't go far enough, did I? Yeah. So right parentheses, so it doesn't like what I did, so let's just start over. So let's go equal to sum, and this time let's get all the numbers the first time. So I need to come down to 24, which is right there, hit right parentheses. So the total interest paid during the first 2 years. Now, this is a problem that's much, much, much easier to do on Excel than using the graphing calculator. Okay? Now, how much interest, when rounded to the nearest dollar, will they save if they add $100 to each payment? Now, this is kind of cool the way this works. We can come up here and kind of repeat what we just did. So if I take this ending balance, right now it's subtracting 533.36, but I'd like to come in and subtract another 100. Now I want to repeat the same thing I did before. I want to take these three, fill down, and I want to take these four and fill down. Now, an ounce of common sense tells me that I'm going to get this thing paid off before 72 months. But I really don't know where that is, so I'm just going to go ahead and run it down to 72. And take a look at what the output gives me. Now, what happens is I see about here in the 59th month, or at least the 59th period, I can see that my value went from 442.78, there's my payoff in the 58th month, to minus 188.29. That's telling me if I make $633.36 payment in that 59th month, that I'm going to pay $188.29 too much. Okay? So what I can do there is to get my interest is I can see, well, I need to make, okay, so I need to make 58 payments of 633.36. So I'm going to make 36,734.88 in the first 58. But in this 59th month, I can see at the end of the term, I'm going to owe them 445.07. Because that 442.78 is going to be the beginning balance for the 59th term. It's going to sit there and draw $2.29 interest, add that to get 445. By the time I get ready to pay off that loan, I'm going to have to come in here and make a payment of 445.07. So I'm going to come right up here and get rid of that and get 445.07 right there. Now, I'm going to show you a shortcut here. If you do that and get it down to exactly 0, what we can now do is we can get rid of all this stuff down here. And what happened with my sum, notice my sum up here is just running from C2 to C73, but there's nothing there. So this 5179, because I've deleted all this content, the contents down here, is the sum of the interest paid. Now, if you don't believe me, we can just go up here and go sum, and we can just add these numbers. Doug. And we get 5179.95. Guys, I'm not sure. Did that actually do what I wanted it to do? C2 to C60? Yeah, it did. So guys, let's think it through. Over the life of the loan at 533.36, I paid 6408.81 interest. And I really should have put an equal to in front of there. So I paid 6408 interest if I made the 72 payments of 533.36. If I made 58 payments plus the additional payment of 445.07, my interest is 5179.95. Well, guys, it should be pretty clear that that value minus that value gives you the interest that you save which is 1228.86. So guys, you would, that's pretty decent trip to Mexico, 28.86. You would save that just by adding $100 to the payment. Now, Part E, during which month does the payment drop below 15,000? Well, yeah, I mean that's really going to be easy to do. I just want to start getting rid of some stuff here because so what we got to do is we got to go back up and set our spreadsheet like we had it before. So I want to take off the 100. All right, same thing before. Highlight these N3. Drag them down one line. Highlight all 4. And drag it down 72 lines. All right, so all this stuff down here is irrelevant. All right, so the month that our account drops below 15,000 would be in the 42nd month. All right, gang, in terms of completing the amortization table, I think when you set up an Excel spreadsheet like this, it helps you do these in the future. So really what you would want to do is you just want to take these 3 rows, copy those numbers in this beginning balance, interest, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to be redundant here. And this will absolutely drive me crazy. That's why I'm not going to do much of it. So anyway, I'm not going to do this. And what you would end up here would be 30,890.21. Okay, and just type in the rest of it. Well, guys, that's all there is to it. Easy stuff, right? So here is your assignment, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to change it in front of you. And then what I'll do is I will upload this to my MATLAB under document sharing. Now, I know it's been a while since we've done that, so let me go ahead and tell you what I want to do. So this is going to be a spreadsheet quiz. So the Malones purchased a new car. Let's do a big old fancy smancy car for 50,000. Some of you thought the numbers were big for 32,000. It's going to be even bigger for 50. And let's run this over 84 months instead of 72. And let's say the Malones this time were able to get a little bit better interest rate at 4.9. So I want you to use Excel and calculate the monthly payment. I want you to how much interest over the loan, interest over the first 2 years. Let's change this up a little bit and let's see how much they would save if they had 200 each payment. And then let's say during which month will their investment drop below 25,000. And okay, let me get rid of that. Well, I didn't want to do that. Okay, what should you turn in? You're going to turn in 2 things. First of all, I want you to turn in this handout. And the second thing I want you to turn in is the Excel spreadsheet for the original payment. So you're going to calculate this for the original payment. And when you come down here and do the 200 to each payment, I don't want to see that one. I just want you to, and I'm going and you should get this one down to the penny. If you do it the way I showed you just previously in this video, you'll get it down to the very penny, and that's the way that I'll actually will grade that. So let me try to get all this on one page. All right, gang, I'm going to save this as spreadsheet quiz. I'm going to go ahead and show you where I'm going to upload it. Let's put this on my desktop. All right, now you can end the video now if you know where to go on my my math lab. But if not, I'm going to bring that up for you and show you how to do that. All right, go to my math lab. Sign in. Because I will tell you, I think my math lab is going to be down for maintenance. I think maybe a few hours on Sunday, so you might want to go ahead and get your document. All right, so under course tools, if you go to document sharing, so first of all, I'm going to upload the document, which is something you won't have to do. I'm going to share it with everyone because I'm a nice guy. So where's spreadsheet quiz? There it is. All right, gang, you're set. So when you go to my math lab, scroll down to course tools and come down to document sharing. Click spreadsheet quiz. It'll open up. Work the problem. Turn in two things. Turn in the spreadsheet quiz with the right answers and turn in the Excel spreadsheet with the original payment, not with the extra $200 added to it. Gang, it's all I got. Have a great weekend or a great first of the week whenever you listen to this. This assignment is due Wednesday. It will not be accepted late. So get it turned in on time and have a great weekend. See ya.